Paschke. I'm an industrial designer for BlackBerry. I want to begin with a fitting quote. At first glance, it appears to be something from a Jules Verne book, but if you look closer, it was written by the prolific artist and pioneer of the data movement, Max Ernst. Design, like exploration, design is a process often referred to as exploration, which is very appropriate. For each project, the process is the same, but the journey is always different, with its own challenges, joys, and surprises. Sometimes it feels like you'll never get to the end, but you do. And when you do, like the explorer, what you get to keep is the memory of the journey and the knowledge gained. So inspiration, it's something that I'm often asked about as a product designer. For me, it's a catalyst. It's a moment that can truly be felt, where a project accelerates in a certain direction and connections are made. Personally, this can be triggered from very different sources, such as travel, film, nature, and even a simple conversation. Sometimes it's personal, but often it's a product of collaboration. So here are some quick examples. A set of cigar tools that come together to form one, inspired by the docking of spacecraft. A wooden chair, inspired by the uniforms of samurai. A mobile phone that is the ultimate black slab, inspired by the mysterious monolith from the film 2001. And jewelry, inspired by wormholes and mathematical concepts like the torus. A QWERTY smartphone, inspired by the protection of an astronaut's helmet. A solar-powered light that turns on when you flip it over, inspired by the warmth and power of daylight and the soft glow of the moon. And the People's Choice Award for TIFF. When you look inside, you can see a slide from the winning film. This was inspired by the director's viewfinder. And the BlackBerry Passport. Now, this is a product that was released in 2014, not long ago, that definitely creates an emotional response with anyone who encounters it. But before I talk about the inspiration for that product, I want to jump back a step. An exploration is often triggered by a challenge, a problem, or a question. For the Passport, the challenge was to envision a modern BlackBerry that carves its own path. One that stays true to brand strengths and heritage, yet it's new and unexpected, and a product with functionality at its core. So personally, for me, the beginning of any project looks something like this. It's complex, exciting, limitless, vast, and very scary. At first, you don't know where to start, but ideas begin to emerge like beacons at unexpected times and in unexpected places. Charles Eames once said, "Eventually, everything connects." In knowing this, one can feel confident that making quality connections between unlikely ideas may lead to a solution. It's the composition of these connections that creates a unique and unexpected point of view. For the Passport, the beacons fall into the categories of format, input, and construction, and I'll talk a little bit about those. So format, the first thing that you notice about this product is how unusual it is in terms of its proportions and its size. Travel is often a part of the designer's job. So my strongest memory of BlackBerry, even before I worked at BlackBerry, was being on an airplane. And when the airplane landed, people stood up and pulled these very large, odd products out of their suit jackets and began composing emails and reviewing documents. And then these little red lights began blinking inside of the plane, almost like a Tokyo skyline at night. For me, this was essential BlackBerry. Doctors, journalists, government officials, and business owners needed to quickly and accurately compose and review documents on the go. So we began looking at sizes and shapes to fit this user's modern needs and expectations. We experimented with many international standards, such as paper, books, and so on, and it seemed the Passport was the most curious of them all. The format fits existing pockets and bags around the world and holds a sense of familiarity. It is, in a way, the international symbol of mobility. The composition of keyboard and large display within this format yielded a refreshing and unique result. It may seem radical as a size and shape, but it's highly functional and has its own beauty because of that. Input. BlackBerry is also obsessed with physical input innovations and has a long history with it. Scroll wheels, keyboards, optical joysticks, and now the touch-sensitive technology under the keyboard shown on the right. The keyboard was radically re-engineered to 3 rows of physical keys, making items like symbols and numbers contextual and digital. What this means is basically they appear on the screen only when and where they're needed. This makes for a much larger screen-to-keyboard ratio. Typography, scale, and color help to merge the digital and physical keyboards so they act as one. So we used a typeface called Slate, designed by a Canadian designer, Rod McDonald, on both. Construction. We also held workshops in a building overlooking the TD Centre, designed by architect Mies van der Rohe in downtown Toronto. For me, looking at an early image like this, it really represented a new future, a new way of thinking, a new model of construction. It looks like it's landed from another planet. And when you zoom into that building, you see this steel I-beam construction used on the interior and the exterior. We were inspired by Mies' method of exposing a building structure, specifically I-beams, to create visual likeness. The stainless steel frame structure on the passport is exposed in a similar way. It provides extra torsional stability as well as a unique shape. It's also an intelligent structure, and what I mean by that is that it's also part of the radio antenna. The display glass is shaped and polished with industrial-grade diamonds to slightly soften the edges of the shape for comfort. The final result is a collage of these 3 ideas: format, input, and construction, creating something highly unique and with purpose. Building it for mass production takes many creative engineers, designers, scientists, inventors, programmers, and managers, each with their own challenges and journey. We continue to get emails and tweets from people who absolutely love the product, by the users it was designed for, and who have made it their own. And again, what the designer retains at the end of the day is a memory of the journey only, and the knowledge gained that it can be applied again to make the next product even better.